Tyler here, and today I will be doing the I Made a Mini VR for Helios, its most recent seasons. So that means starting off today, we will be doing season 5 Tranquility. Could you cut to the chase already? Come on. Season 5. The storyline for this season was that, we restored the Infinity from, the Great Corruption from Season 4, where, things from all these different universes, or different universes and times of, the map coming in and combining into one weird, conjunction, which, messed up the timeline and basically broke the Infinity. And this is the Infinity, by the way, if anyone wanted to know. Then after that, the island, started to bloom, with blossoms all around, as a symbol of recovery. Also, fun fact, this was based off of a chapter 2 season 10 concept, I think, that I really liked the idea for, and I made it into a season for this. I thought this season was pretty good. Alright, well, let's continue over to some of the POIs now. The first POI we're going to start off at is Sendai Sprawls. Or just Sendai Sprawl, I think, yeah. Over here at Sendai Sprawl, it's basically a revamped version of Sign Salutes in, more Japanese, inspired. You got floor mart, just the original floor mart, but a slight bit smaller and a lot more cooler looking. You got the frozen goods, you got cash registers, you even got snacks. Then you go upstairs and then back on topic, you have other areas in the building, the storage compartments, and then, the little break room, which is really boring for a break room. I wouldn't really work here, not gonna lie. You got, the regular, pots and stuff around, flout things. We'll go to is, Sunrise Hotel. In Sunrise Hotel, it's just your average hotel with, a little waiting area, so if there's a really long line for the rooms and crap. Chowzilla, I'm pretty sure anyone can really guess what that's inspired off of in the name wise, but it's just a regular little hibachi shop, I think they say, yeah. Or just a regular your little food shop where you can just get food. You got rooms, regular rooms, specifically regular rooms like this. And then you got the average rooms like this. No, this is just one of those rooms where there's two bed, queen bed, and then the little area back here, and then here, that's pretty normal, I'd say. And then here, with an actual TV this time. Yay! Then you go over to this building. This is the hideout for the bad guys, in which you'll get more story on them in Season 6 once I, get to that. But yeah, this is their little building. They have, a little security thing, which really wouldn't make sense with the boards right here, but they exist. Technology, just all technology, and they're this is an abandoned building, so they're gonna use it. It's gonna look a little, meh. I think there's no, there's not an upstairs. I was wrong. There was an upstairs. How did you even get up here? Okay, so we're just gonna act like I just knew everything there about my map. Their logo, that's the authorities logo. Then, you know, you got more technologies and even computers in, like, the sleeping, you know, or the little beds. And then this, and then more technology, yay! Anywho, going on to the next building. Next building is your average office building. Cap and carp. Thing is though, if I'm at the office, companies just hate their employees. So, since this is the alternate version of Helios, or a fake version of Helios, because season 5 isn't necessarily canon, it's just fake. Made by, like, it's a fake propaganda, you know, filled with, like, simulation made by the bad guys, the authority. They treat their employees right in this version. Also, more couches, you know, we need more couches. In every building, we always need couches. And heck, even beds. Books, yeah, books. And then, you know, you got your average little office decorations, you know, printer, you know. Going here, they still kind of hate their on second thought, they actually do kind of still hate their employees a little bit. Just a little less than the original Sunsalute version did. But you know, they casually hide in here and hide snacks and stuff in here because they're not allowed to eat. Don't ask how they survive. They just survive. Alright, anywho. Now on to, like, the next building. After, you know, this building right here. It is Big Shots, which is, in my map, a bar. You have, like, casual little tables around here. Then, you know, your casual bar decorations. They even have food here that you can buy with the drinks if you wanna, if you're hungry. No wait, more tables over here, kind of just like this area, but you know. Then the employees only area with, you know, storage, parts of the building, you know, your regular, it's just your regular and pretty average storage area. And then also, there's breakable windows in this map, so, you know, we're not gonna wonder why my memory's like that in this version, but, yeah. And then also, even got some police cars and, you know, these smaller restaurants. Before we go into the next building, we have, like, a bus stop, and even more restaurants, and, heck, even this. And then, you know, phones, and then a bus, and then, you know. And then also back here, there's little TVs, don't ask why. There's regular trash cans there, you know, or dumpsters, I mean. And then something that I don't know why I add in every POI anymore, I just add it. You know, parking lot there. Alright, now let's actually go into the next building now. The next building. This building is the news building. Another fun fact I'm just gonna give you guys. The name was based off of, like, a Kanye album. Those who know. Those who know. No? Doing things here. I'd say this is the best building in the POI, not gonna lie. It has, like, a little receptionist area. Hold on, I'm trying to move my marker real quick, and there we go. Alright, yeah, you'd have, like, a little receptionist area with a bookshelf. And then, you know, more couches. God, there's a lot of couches here. A bigger waiting room, or, like, employees' room than any other POI. You know, average thing there, you know. You know, the, you know, news area where the, you know, they record and stuff. Recording floor, as it says there. How am I lodging myself in this? More bookshelves and, heck, water dispensers. Also, when you look up in the sky, since this is week 5, I believe, of season 5, this version I'm taking it off of, Don't ask why the map doesn't render in it. It just doesn't. I'll show you guys. Like picture the map on screen in like a minute here. Like right now. Hopefully y'all actually like this season's map. I think it was a pretty good like map, except from the fact that really the trees don't show. Only bad part, I'd say. Actually, before we go to any of the POIs, we'll go to a couple landmarks beforehand. There's not too many landmarks in this season that I added, but you know, they're always cool to have. First landmark so far in this, or just in the season in general, crooked campsites. It's just your average little campsite with nothing right here. Just there's no Jonesy peeking out. You know, we're just gonna. I don't know if this version still has it, but yeah, don't ask what this is. I don't even know what this is, but it exists. More normal things though, you know, you got this pretty good, or a pretty alright looking campsite area that I made. And then, you know, you got your average little hut that's not even a landmark, but it's always cool to look at. Last landmark until we go to, Prosper Prospects. You know, it's the Cavolution train station. Originally back in season 1 and 4, this building was closed down. You know, there's recycling bins right here, and then, you know, vending machines in more little smaller areas like that. You know, just your chill little ramen shop. Random TVs that basically are kind of the nothing TVs when you think about them. This is like a little command room for like the train station as a whole. You know, the waiting area, and then more wait, and then, you know, a little bridge, and then another waiting area. There's like boxes and the logo that bad team even know. This is what they're trying to get people to believe, I guess, in like the reality to, you know, think. Security room. Anywho though, on to like the next you know, POI in the season. Welcome to Prosper Prospects. Prosper Prospects is actually like, I'd say, one of the best POIs of the season, no glaze. One thing this POI has is that Leisurely Lookout didn't have is, you know, it has like little, it's more expanded off like the idea. And you know, this area right here, this like POI especially at night looks good. Let's actually look inside the buildings though. Have things like, you know, random bed, and then a picture of not Weeping Woods, but Dusty Divot, yeah, Dusty Divot, and then this, most of this area is just blocked off by wooden, and then he's got random stuff here, like more technology and stuff, and then a couple little like regular little house areas. Same as every other area, and then this is actually just like a little dock. There's stuff thrown off of it, like they threw off technology and stuff. Don't ask why they would. More of these logos right here of the Authority. Fish sticks. There's actually like TVs and stuff up there. That's cool, I'd say. And then, you know, you got like, most of the decorations done here are pretty normal. There's nothing too special about them. I think they look good. Some people may beg to differ though. Hey, Bob sleeps here, and he just so happens to be in a canoe, so don't ask. Same building. I think there's actually I forgot to show y'all this, but there's a chest right there. And like a little area back here where, you know, they put their like gardening tools or whatever. I think that's actually all of Sendai Sprawl except from like, you know, the little like lookout areas right here. For like, you know, tourists. Also, you know, before I go on to like, you got like areas like here with like melted snow. And then, you know, got like the rest of like the blossom biome. Well, on to like the next area real quick. It seems that our next area is this area that I think I showed you guys somewhere in the video. It's just where the Infinity lays during like that got added like in week 3. It's just like a little area with like shards and stuff for the Infinity. And this is inspired off of like that one chapter 3 season 3 like area what like the 0 point was. And then, you know, you got blossom biome around it. And then Merlon's covered in a bit of snow. And then, you know, once you go into the waterfall, you can see like all of like the crystals and like this entire cave system. That leads directly right into Merlon, which, you know, just got overgrown this season. A returning POI that I don't think anybody would have really suspected to just come back in this season. Especially, I mean, with the theming, you'd probably suspect it, considering the idea of it is to kind of be fake, you know. Their little machine glitch out and somehow brought in this to the simulation, so you know, it's just regular casual crossing, but with some extra upgrades. Like they're actually trying to rebuild the bank. You know, some of the bank has, heck, even this is like back to normal, and then like, you know, some of the, so, you know, the bank gets redeemed in some points in that. This building is just the building. There's little parts though that they're trying to clean up still, and then even here they're trying to rebuild something. So yeah, pretty good, I'd say. I loved this. And the bridge, I think, got some updates, like with more tech on like right here. Like, it's just more hinting at the fact that they're trying to fill people with propaganda. There we go. Their logo's right there instead of the authorities, or I mean, not the authorities. The AOH's logo, in which their AOH's logo isn't around their bases. No, there's one right here, but it's covered up by the bad team in the simulation. This bridge is about the same as it ever really is. More cars are going past it, and then this area in the front is back to normal. All of the POI is back to normal, especially like the nature surrounding it. Like the next POI, I wouldn't consider it a new POI. It's just a revamped version of an old POI from season 1 through 4. Fabling Farmsteads also. Don't ask. This building right here has like some little pieces of it taken out by the bad team because they're trying to clean it up. Also, this was the bad team's main base of operation at one point during like most of the chapter. Even like this POI was like built off of an area where they used to test nukes, which is obviously the perfect place for a farm, as anyone would guess. You know, they surrounded the nuke with little like scraps, and then, you know, they upgraded the farm in the simulation. Farm, you know, you have things like, you know, an extra like part too, and then even here like they're repairing some of their cars, and, you know, these little doors, and then this building back here with tech and, you know, bushes, and then even their logos on this. And then, you know, the little, forget the name of it, but it's something that you'd host, like, chickens and stuff in. I'd say. And then the graveyard, and then the very, very evil foreshadowing of the end of the chapter, possibly. We will never be here. They probably will, but you know, that's for another time and day. Maybe just building, you know. You have the kitchen, you know, the couch and technology and books, and not a refrigerator but a computer. And then, you know, the beds of the bad guys are kind of a part of the group. And then, you know, they have their little TV screen right here, where, you know, they get text stuff, because I highly doubt they're gonna wake up to loud alarms. Specifically them, though. Maybe not me, though. The tower also got revamped a little bit. Yeah, it's basically just failing farmsteads with, like, a couple extra buildings and, you know, extra stuff. Now going on to the next season, which should be Season 6, Ground Zero. Yep, welcome to Season 6 of Helios. Well, to start off, the storyline for the season is that we escape the propaganda-filled reality of Season 5 of Helios to find out that the AOH is in a deep war with the, Authority. And then, eventually, after all that started, the Authority starts to nuke places on the map. The first PI we're going to start off at in this season is Worn-Torn Watches. Going over here to Worn-Torn Watches, you can see it's basically like the Leisurely Lookout POI from Chapter 1, Season 1 through 4 of Helios. But since the war has happened, their society got bombed, or the little area where a lot of people live got bombed, and basically they're trying to rebuild off of what's left from the nukes with like scraps and stuff. Also, you know, you got things like little barrels and like things like broken and everything. A good portion of this building is taken out. There's a nuke in the POI, which would obviously be the perfect place to just hang clothes. Because, yeah, they're using the nuke, Authority logo again. Pretty much just, you know, rebuilt parts of things. Also, when you go into this building, there's, like, a little area down here with, like, you know, just your regular little house, but burnt. Yeah, most of the buildings in this POI, or all the buildings in the POI, are burnt to a crisp. The water around, like, these areas, around, like, the bombed areas, are polluted, though, from, like, the nukes. There's toilet paper in the water, which really wasn't needed, but exists. Cloth, you know, just where they're carrying down the scraps from, or with. Like, they're using these little things right here. These little rollers, or whatever you want to call them, down, to bring them down there. Also, the cars that used to be over here at the top of Leisurely Lookout are now at the bottom because, you know, the nuke kind of made them crash down. Also, the reason why you may notice, like, also there's, like, nukes that, you know, are somehow still existing, even though they should probably have been exploded. The reason it's like that is because, basically, some nukes didn't go off when they dropped it, because, well, they were a little faulty, because they were built off, like, the old scraps of older nukes. Also with this POI, you know, you got more of these, and then also like a little AOH bunker, because the AOH did kind of help them a little bit throughout the chapter. and little saving bags. And since a lot of people in this POI lost their houses, they're kind of living in little tents outside of the area. Also you got like little things like this surrounding the POI. Also the one thing that's like powering the bunker is a little broken here. Just the hotel building. It did get exploded though, so that's kind of sad. There's an ascender right here, and just more tents. It's like your pretty average, I wouldn't say average, but a little exploded version of Leisurely Lookout. And then you got like some cars that kind of just are done for. Alright, on to the next areas, which I'll probably show you guys the landmarks before I show you all the POIs. Well, if I'm gonna show you all landmarks, then this is, Cinder Circuits. It was like the train station from like season 1 and 4 of Helios, but instead this version of it is like this version of it got bombed. You know, the nukes are still here, and then one of the cars is impaled, and then like the road and stuff is all messed up, and then heck, even over here the road's messed up. Also, this landmark's called the Lost One, because some random guy lives here in this hut, this AOH hut that used to be here. He lives in like a sleeping bag and stuff, and you know, casually just sailing around the nuke. Other small nukes and stuff. Also now going to like the next POI on the map, Charring Chambers. Charring Chambers is the original like area where the AOH held intergalactic and just prisoners in general in for like a long while until, you know, they escaped in season 2, and you know how that goes, hopefully. Probably not, but you know. Now, since like it's been really weird recently with the prison, the authority decided that they felt like this would have been a good area to bomb. Last area that I'm going to show you guys today, on this map is Distant Docksides. Think of, Dormant Docksides from, the original Helios, like, not original Helios, it was original Helios, but, original Helios and the remaster. That POI was really small, so I decided why not upgrade it, since, like, the bad team, you know, is more powerful now in this season. They have more land and everything taken over. Right now. Basically, you know, also, this is the sound that their chest makes. Really not too different from the other chest, but, you know. In this version of Dormant Dock, or better known as Distant Docksides now, you'll be able to find things like better decorated, like, buildings, and heck, even more buildings. Before we go today, just another bunker that I forgot to show y'all. Nothing too much from the other bunkers. Well, I guess that sums it up, all today with, like, you know, the map. You know, thank you for watching. I genuinely appreciate it a lot. Hopefully, I will do more videos. I bet to you I'm gonna do more videos exactly like this. So I'm not gonna even say I bet, or I hope, or anything. Well, you know, appreciate you guys watching. You know, it was nice making this video. Anyways, you know, peace, and have a great day.